What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the world? This is Sunday, so you know what that means. Up to date, regular, always here. The Sunday Puddcast returns for its weekly special. Today, I'm done. I'm dropping the mic. That was probably extremely loud.
It was probably really. We're gonna have to go and post and specifically edit that one noise out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sunday Puddcast, the extremely infrequent podcast. How long have I been gone? Probably a year?
Yeah, a year.
Seriously, a year?
No, let me check. I don't know, but well, probably.
Probably. I mean, I wouldn't be
I'd
surprised.
say around a year. Like you've been gone for those of you on Puddy's channel who only watched the podcast thought he was dead. You're like, well, it's not the podcast, so it doesn't have Puddy in it. Wouldn't it be funny if people thought that? It's like, yeah. Well, it doesn't say Pud on it, so
it's Matsudairo, so it's,
I don't want to. Screw him.
Did I ever say it's Puddy from Matsudairo Gaming? I think I did, right?
Oh no, I don't think. Well, let's watch all the videos right now and then continue the podcast.
I'm sure. Well, I used to at least say something about Matsudairo Gaming. But I remember I didn't bring Puddy into it for a while. But nowadays I barely even say Matsudairo in my videos. Yeah,
I mean, God, betray old Puddy.
You're so random. So today, for those of you, for the meat and potatoes, the main thing we're going to be talking about today, of course we're going to be rambling a lot. The main thing we're going to be talking about today is Fallout 4. As a bit
and
of a
Fallout in general, probably. We're gonna ramble on to Fallout in general.
Maybe. I mean,
maybe
the most recent game has been out for 4 years. There's not too many topics we haven't covered in our.
Doesn't matter.
Between
We're
us,
nerds.
250 parts.
we will find a new thing to compare or analyze.
Between us, we have over 300 Fallout videos.
Yeah, that's incredible. I think, considering how a lot of Let's Plays have such small, low part counts and small videos. We have a lot of Fallout in there, A
lot of long Fallout, too. I mean, I know not all of them are long, but,
yeah.
What's my Dead Money part 1 is an hour and 5? I think.
Yeah, I mean, last time I checked, my videos were an average length of 35 minutes on the Fallout.
I remember we worked that out one time when mine was 24, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say yours are a little shorter, but then again, I have a feeling...
Mine are more
who's
of a spectrum.
Have more parts.
Yours are more, probably you, because I'm almost done. I'm estimating about 170 at most. But in terms, because remember, Dead Money was split up into multiple videos per part. But anyway.
Yeah.
Specifics.
Doesn't count.
Here we are talking about a Fallout topic when just a minute ago I didn't think we would.
You promised we wouldn't, and you lied.
Fallout 4 is the meat and potatoes. If you're not interested in Fallout, you should probably leave now. If you are interested in us, though, maybe skip ahead because we might talk about some personal stuff. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
What was I trying to say? Oh, average. Oh yeah, I'm more of a spectrum while yours are more averaged out. You aim for a certain length on your Fallout New Vegas videos, right?
I used to.
Okay. From the very start.
For 30 minutes, and then I got into these longer quests, and I was like, well, I could split this up, or I could just say fuck it and make it an hour. And then when you get to Old World Blues, you give up trying to come up with some sort of rational explanation for how long a part should be, and they all turn out to be at least 40 minutes. It's ridiculous.
I remember you started your New Vegas LP, and I was talking to you about because I was planning it at the time, and it was a year in planning, and I told you, I'm estimating this many parts, and then you asked, how are you estimating that? And I was like, well, 30 parts for Old World Blues, an hour each, and you were like, what? And I was like, yeah, you probably need to do an hour each for Old World Blues, but it wasn't 30 parts.
Yeah, it's not 30 parts, and not every was an hour. Not every.
No, they weren't. But when you got
a little off.
I think I might have said Dead Money though. And you got to Dead Money and said that you did need to do longer parts than you were expecting.
Dead Money is so I might be able to. I could divide the Old World Blue parts. It would feel weird. The thing with Dead Money is you can't. Dividing the parts doesn't work in that DLC. I tried. So you end up having these hour-long parts because if you divide them, the entire narrative is lost. The part doesn't make sense by it separate,
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so you end up getting really long parts in Dead Money.
you can also have very long stretches of exploration in that, and a lot of it's necessary because that DLC's real nuances and character and character in general, just the it's hard to describe. The character of the DLC is hidden.
Yeah,
and you have to.
And even though Honest Hearts is neither of our favorite DLC for New Vegas, I think.
Although you rate it higher than I do.
I rank it higher than you do, but it's still not my favorite. I would say you can admire it in an LP sense because those parts can be a decent length and still it can make sense,
Yeah, I think I remember enjoying my Honest Hearts LP for
you
what
probably,
it's worth.
Yeah, you probably. I think you did, and it was fun. It's a good. Well, actually,
I explored every location, which
I was a little bit bothered because of the amount of crashes.
by mine or by your? Oh yeah, because you had a lot of crashes.
If you watched mine, you probably saw I had at least one crash every part, and it was driving me off the wall.
You know what Honest Hearts reminded me of in the LP? It reminded me of a Bethesda game, where they got the atmosphere so right, but I just didn't feel like the substance was there. Mm-hmm. That's what I felt when I was playing Honest Hearts.
And great weapons. Which
I don't know. I think Obsidian does the weapons way better.
No, I do think they do them better. I was just saying Honest Hearts.
Oh, just Honest Hearts are great. Yeah, I agree. The 45 variants are all really cool, and the uniques are cool. And the Yaoi glove is a lot better than I remember it.
I think Honest Hearts is a really cool area. I just don't think the main quest is that interesting.
Yes, you see it. So we do agree on most things.
Like you could
but you like the nature a lot more than I do. Although I do like it. It's fun to explore. You seem to love the nature.
I think it's pretty. And
I remember you were so disappointed by Sun Sentinels because I watched that episode. You were like, I guess this isn't as good as I thought it was.
Yeah, I remember it being the most badass area in the world. I was like, yeah, it's so cool. And then I went there, I'm like, this is just like a rock.
Oh, God. Yeah.
It's funny how you embellish things in your head,
Oh, yeah, same. No, well, I did that with the whole New Vegas LP, except for Old World Blues. Most of the game was me being like, this game does miss a few high spots, but Old World Blues was like the greatest gaming experience of all time. So
yeah, it's so good. Well, and you said this, and I loved what you said. Old World Blues is the best of Fallout.
Yeah.
Because it has a great, like, if we're saying that Honest Hearts, that Zion Valley is an interesting map, Old World Blues is the most interesting map. There's not one part of that place that isn't filled with some sort of story, something you can imply, even if it's not written.
Enemy.
Yeah.
Weapon.
Even if it's not written down, you can imply or infer stories from the characters and the enemies and the weapons and everything, and it all culminates into this pageantry of sci-fi ridiculosity.
Yeah.
And the quests amazing, the characters incredible. If you like dialogue, Old World Blues is the best. If you like enemies fighting in Fallout, Old World Blues is the best. If you like anything about Fallout, you're right. Old World Blues is a perfect example of the best parts of Fallout. It's everything, and that's why it's an overwhelming DLC. Mm-hmm. You do feel overwhelmed with all the stuff you can do. But
it's got so much loot, and that's a big part of Fallout. And it's got so much like exploration gameplay. At the same time, though, it doesn't abandon story, character, and like you said, well-written dialogue.
And it pulls the I want to say trio of DLC because Honest Hearts is sort of like the black sheep in the family of DLC.
Although I think I'm pretty sure the main enemy of the DLC, the main antagonist of the DLCs, is mentioned by the Burn Man.
Yeah, he mentioned, but yeah. Anyway, there are three. The trio is pulled together by Old World Blues. It wouldn't mean as nearly as much in Dead Money and in Lonesome Road without Old World Blues. It just wouldn't.
It's true that they pulls it together, but to be fair, like the way that I imagine it when you say that is like Older Blues like created the links, and to me, like, you look at the outro to Dead Money, if you got all the characters safe, they already knew where they were going. Like you knew there was a story still left untold. It wasn't like Older Blues created that link; it was already there. But Older Blues is the middle point between the two.
Yes, and the stories crisscross. People's journeys on the stories crisscross to where, spoiler.
If it's a spoiler for Lonesome Road, leave it.
Okay.
Dead Money is in a lot of ways a start.
Well, let's just say certain characters go in different directions, and Old World Blues is where they cross.
Yeah, because like I said, I was about to say, Dead Money, from a gameplay perspective, is the start, because it was the first one that was released. But you can say this, I don't know
if
this is
certain
where we're
characters'
going.
journeys,
With Christine,
it's the end.
It's the end.
And Elijah.
And Elijah, and...
Unless, of course, you side with Elijah to conquer the world.
But then that's your end.
Yeah, that's your end.
Yeah, that's the ending of the game, which I didn't show. No, I didn't show that.
I think you did.
I was going to have you send me the footage.
Why would I have the footage?
You were going to use, because I wasn't on PC at the time, so you were going to use console commands to set your NCR reputation low enough to film it for me. I showed an ending, but I didn't show that one. I showed the one where you read.
Maybe I did that for you, and that's why I had that problem with NCR reputation earlier.
Nah,
anyway,
the only footage I think you ever filmed for my LP was the Helios 1.
The Helios 1 weapon.
Archimedes 2.
Yeah, I couldn't think of it.
I remember I used that because at one point I've done so many things, experimented with so many things during my LP that I've abandoned now. At one point I was doing some really cool stuff with like second screen down the bbottom right.
Yes, you used to do that so much.
I did it for like 10 episodes.
Okay, yeah. But why'd you stop doing that?
I don't know. It's a good idea. That sounded really Welsh. It's a good idea, but
it's a good idea.
It's a good idea, but I don't know why I stopped doing it. I mean, it's a lot of work. That might be it. And I tend to show off a lot of stuff. Just the way I was doing it is I would show off stuff that I didn't want to like spend 10 minutes showing off just down the bottom right. But now I just tend to just spend 10 minutes showing it off.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Sometimes I'll miss things. Like even in the end, this season I just finished filming. It was a wrap earlier today. Of New Vegas.
Wrap.
A lot of the ending parts of New Vegas are starting to become storyline parts rather than where I'm in character rather than an LPer. And so a lot of times I can't show like alternative endings to quests because if I did it would break the fourth wall, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why towards the end you're not going to see such alternative things, but luckily the second to last part is going to be just a full LP episode where I do a quest. So I'm hoping that's a back to basics video.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. The evolution the evolution of both of our Let's Plays. I mean, yours started as I'd say more, like you said, showing everything and talking about every little detail.
It's kind of what I still want to do.
But it slowly turned into more, especially with how we crisscrossed our when we did that.
Oh, okay.
Your Let's Play turned into something different.
Yeah, I mean, there's splashes of something different here.
Or
and
I should say, will turn into something different.
True, it's not out yet. Yeah. But this
teaser.
Yeah, well, I teased it before. But yeah, there's splashes of something different here and there. But the core of the series is still showing you everything about the game I love. That's still the core of the series. It's been there for a while.
We haven't talked an inch about Fallout 4 yet.
It's true. It's true. Look,
what, Marshall? We're not gonna talk about Fallout. There's nothing to talk about Fallout. Fallout's gay. Let's talk about Fallout 4.
We're talking about Fallout LPs. We've got 58 minutes. We've got to cover Fallout 4 at least, and I think we should cover Survivor Series.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't? Okay.
I just don't know if anyone watching will really know what's going on. They're like, I'm here for Fallout 4, not wrestling.
It's a podcast. We talk about what's going on in our lives.
Talk about what's going on.
Yeah.
In our lives. That's a generous term.
Okay.
I just mean like, we're watching wrestling, but like, we're not the wrestlers.
You didn't work Survivor Series last night?
No, I didn't. Oh, is that why you couldn't call with me anymore?
I was on the I was on the pre. There's dark matches that they just show to the live audience before the pre-show starts.
Yeah, to get them all riled up.
Yeah, Tyson Kidd, the guy who came out with the Divas tag team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I worked with him, and he beat the shit out of me.
He beat the shit out of you?
Beat the shit out of me.
Almost killed you.
Yeah, almost. He's Canadian, see.
Yeah, which is very contradictory to stereotype.
We should get into this later. Anyway, Fallout LPs, we do them.
podcasts talk.
We don't do them.
We talk.
We should do this more often.
We should, because we have such a good time. And, I mean, I've heard personally from other people that say, you know, we have a really good, what's the word for back and forth? Besides back and forth.
Banter.
If we want banter. Yeah, we got banter. If you want to say gay, the gay version of it, we would say we have good chemistry.
I was about to say chemistry.
Yeah.
Sometimes when we're playing games, though, sometimes we have really bad chemistry. Sometimes.
When we're playing games, shit hits the fan. You always scream at me. I always just stop. I start hiding. You know. The other day, I boycotted my voice from Puddy.
We were playing Payday, and he was making some sort of his usual jokes where he was talking about penises or something. I think it was literally about penises.
It's probably very cut and dry penis joke.
You
know the type.
I just turned around to him and said, "Marshall, for once, will you just shut up?" For the entire heist, he didn't talk.
It was probably like a 30-minute.
Probably,
period.
Yeah.
And I didn't talk, and
then I said to Reese, "Will you just shut up?" And he did it for half an hour.
Yeah, Reese did monkey see, monkey do. He's like, huh, but he didn't like that.
No, but then when you said, "Oh, Reese, you should do it too," I was like, "Oh, I love to hear Reese not talking for half an hour."
Yes, and then that turned on you. You're like, no.
I made this big speech about how I forgave you. You both.
Yes. And Reese took a while. He kicked him. He kicked him from the game.
Yeah, he kicked me from the game, and I kicked you from the call.
Yeah, it got rough. Which I don't know why you kicked me from the call. I didn't do shit.
I've came up with a third topic we can dive into now while we're still on YouTube stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Minecraft. Yeah. So Minecraft's back, and we decided to rejuvenate the series. I'm not uploading it. God, no.
We know how that goes.
I might
Let's
upload
look at
an
the history of uploads on Minecraft on his channel. Single player series. 2 parts of hitting a block repeatedly.
I might upload a couple of episodes because I've recorded a couple for Marshall's series on my own, which is weird. But I might upload them to my channel eventually.
I actually really like what you did there because it made me realize I like the idea of other people's content being bare on my channel. It's kind of interesting and it's kind of new.
Yeah.
And for the Minecraft series,
that series fits it well as well.
It's appropriate. So like if anyone on our server does something off screen, it shouldn't be off screen. They should record it and they can send it to me. And if they had good commentary, like you did, I'll upload it by itself. And I think
if not, you can use it as B-roll.
Yeah, and if they don't have good commentary or they don't want to talk, which I doubt all of them will, they can just send it to me and I can put it into a recap video. Yeah. Like, because a lot of stuff happens like here and there, like little 5-minute segments of work that you can't do an episode on. So you take all that and you bundle it into an update video or something like that, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, I think I like the idea of getting perspectives from different people, and Puddy and I went through this, getting perspectives, and I really think it adds a lot to the series, especially anyway. But yeah,
I love different perspectives in a multiplayer series. I think it works. Like I know I don't watch a lot of streams, but when I do, I know that I notice a lot of things with teams now. They have like these team Twitch pages where you can watch all 4 people live, and then listen to one person's audio, and more perspectives. They just add more ways of viewing. You know what I mean?
I don't always watch Twitch streams, but when I do, I think of ways to make Marshall do work.
I don't always watch Twitch streams, but when I do, I watch 4 at the same time.
It's like those cable TV packages where you can watch like 12 games at once.
I do that.
How do you even focus on them? Like,
well, I no, actually, what I do is I look over them while I'm listening to audio. I do look at them, but not too much. And then I hear like, oh, a goal has gone in on screen 5, and so I full screen 5 to see the replay of the goal. I come back, and then a goal has gone in on screen 7, full screen, stuff like that.
I see.
But unless there's a goal being scored or something awesome happening, I'll have them all on with audio, and I'll be editing or something.
It'd be funny if there were 7 announcers at once.
No, I'll have one screen's audio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Minecraft. I like the idea of the series where we've got some issues with... We have a very specific vision.
And other people don't.
Don't.
And we don't like other people disagreeing with us.
See, I like the idea of discourse, but obviously I want it to happen within our system.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, Jacob has asked several times to come back on. We'll talk about that after, but anyway.
That video hasn't got up yet, has it?
No, it hasn't.
Neither is the... We haven't even started recording the other thing.
Only one part of the revamp series has come up,
Yeah.
which means it's a perfect time for you.
This is going up on Sunday.
So, maybe 2.
Maybe 2? Okay.
But,
is it still on Mondays?
It's a perfect time. Well, basically, right now I'm just uploading one at a time.
Okay.
No schedule, but it's a perfect time for you, viewer of Puddcast, to come to the channel and start at the beginning, and you can watch as we upload. And it's an interesting experience. I encourage you to comment. If you want to comment on the video, but you want to talk to Puddy, I will be happy to relay the information to Puddy, and he can reply to your comment personally.
I tend to check the comments of Minecraft videos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
well, that's good.
Yeah, because I'm involved, and if anyone has any comments, even that aren't directed at me, but I can provide insight in, I'd like to help.
I should just scan your videos for comments and reply to the other people.
I'm in those videos though.
I know, that's why it'd be funny. I'd be like, "Hello, I'm Matsudiro Gaming's official advisor. I'm here
That's
to help
Puddy
you."
Gash, you idiot.
No, he's your Twitter.
He's my PR guy.
PR.
You know?
But he's stated on record that his job description of PR guy is to manage your Twitter account. And he's doing a shit job, by the way.
Oh, he's doing a great job. Have you seen me go off on someone on Twitter recently? No, because that's because of Puddy Gash deleting my tweets.
He censors me. That's
He's
why there's no tweets.
He is a lifesaver. No, but the problem is we have a structure. We want to create something civilization-y and put a lot of rules and regulations in place and have people... changing those rules is not a bad thing. In fact, we're making steps to make people able to change those rules.
I want people to be able to change the rules.
But we want them to change their rules according to the rules.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, well, and you can even change the underlying rules, but do them by following the rules. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Like it's... Or don't follow the rules, but do it in the spirit of the server.
Yes.
And it's not. It's not really Minecraft, and people will come in and they'll get a shock because it's not the normal Minecraft experience. And in some ways, it's not even a fun video game. But it's an idea.
I think it's a genuinely interesting
to me.
series.
Yeah, and I think it's a genuinely interesting thing to do.
It's very fun.
Well, for you, who's at the top, but I think even at the bottom, it's fun.
No. In the last session, whenever that gets uploaded, people will find out it's not always fun to be at the top. I was this close to resigning and just saying, "Fuck it, I'm gonna head up the mining district."
Daniel was there, I'll have your power.
I just wanted to drop the mic and step away, but then I realized, who is going to be more responsible than me? I don't know.
You know what you should have done?
Yeah.
You should have put together a Survivor Series team.
Oh my god.
And put your
authority
authority on
to the death for me. Whoever wins is the heir to the throne when I choose to make him.
Oh, now we need to make a Coliseum.
Yeah, we need to build a Coliseum for this shit. Okay.
Yeah.
This
Minecraft
is how we forget the election. This is how we choose the president.
Oh, if the law hadn't already been written.
Hey, when Parliament's in power, they can rewrite it. If they don't like the election, they can fight to the death.
Oh shit, before Parliament gets in, we need to put some repeal laws in there to make sure Parliament can repeal the law. Because I don't think I've actually written that in somewhere. Right now, laws that get passed are final. So
no, unless you say it is entrenched.
No, because entrenched, you still can change them. It's just you've got to have a 2/3 majority to overturn them.
So non-entrenched, they can be repealed.
But they shouldn't be repealed just like government says, oh, it's repealed.
Well, no, there has to be a process.
Look, we'll talk about this on the Minecraft series.
We'll talk about
because this isn't the place. Okay, we're about 25 minutes in. I think we should go to Fallout 4 first and leave Survivor Series to last so people can click off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, right. Okay, Fallout 4. Since a year ago, 2 years ago maybe. No, it's not 2 years ago. A year and a half ago. When we last did this podcast on Fallout 4, there's been numerous accounts of fake shit where nothing official has been announced. So I will leave it to you, Marshall. Would you like to talk about our wishes and fears for Fallout 4 first, or do you want to go through the fake shit that's happened?
Well, I'll let you decide. I can talk about the wishes and fears. I don't know a ton about the fake shit. I know a little bit about the Survivor thing.
That's good, because that's the only one I don't know much about.
Okay, well then let's go. Then let's start with that. You can talk about the other ones, and I'll talk about the Survivor one.
What's his name? Edric, something Dellums, right?
Todd Eric Dellums, I believe.
Todd Eric Dellums. We talked about that last time, right? That was before, right? Right. So we can go past that one. First one, the big one we should talk about is that there was a fake rumor that Bethesda had filed a trademark, a patent, something. Bethesda had filed something for the name Fallout 4, or maybe just Fallout: The Shadow of Boston.
Yeah.
And obviously, because there was a lot of rumors, there still is a lot of rumors that the new game is going to be set in Boston.
And I think we should be clear on why these rumors are. I think the rumors that it's set in Boston have a decent basis, because it's been said that, and then again, it's been said, I wasn't there, so I can't confirm it, but I'm pretty sure it's been said that Fallout Bethesda representatives were found in Boston, and specifically meeting with people at the the Institute
MIT.
of Technology, the MIT, and meeting at the MIT, which implies they are mapping out a game.
I remember that rumor. I also remember that wasn't the only place they were field testing, though. They were field testing like all over the US. I remember,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they. So I think also there was another rumor that it was to do with some other game.
So why do you think the idea that it's in Boston became so popular? I mean, Boston isn't that good of a location. I mean, there are plenty of locations equally as good, if not better. Like, why do you think people took to Boston?
I think a lot of people hear a location, and I haven't played enough of Fallout 3 to see if there's any more, but I think the location that is created the most intrigue around that isn't like explorable in the main game
in Fallout
3 is Boston. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that would be my personal reasoning behind that. I'm not sure how much weight the rumors actually have at all. Like, honestly, I understand it makes sense. It does make sense. But I really, like, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, these rumors are not corroborated by much at all. If that Shadow of Boston thing had been real, then sure. But you know, it's not.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
even if it was real, filing for that does not mean anything. And I know this is going off to a completely different game series. Pokemon has still got patents for Pokemon Gray and for Pokemon Delta Emerald. You know, these are patents they have that they could make these games at any time. They've had them for years. Well, at least with Gray, they've had them for 2 or 3 years. And just because a game company has a patent related to their series doesn't mean they're definitely going to make it.
So that they have the patent.
Yeah, just so that nobody else can do it.
Because, yeah, I mean, maybe this is what happened. I mean, if they did that, what if everyone's talking about Boston? They aren't basing their next game in Boston, but because everyone's talking about it, they want to secure that for a possible future place.
Yeah, imagine another game was thinking, like, not Fallout, but what if another game wanted Shadow of Boston? That's a pretty cool title.
Mm-hmm. And
it's fake, but...
Now, I think one cool thing about my ideal, like, Boston main game, as far as basing it around the Institute and MIT, would be similar to Old World Blues. You know, fill it with science, fill it with ridiculousness, and I think that'd turn it into a pretty good game, as long as there's some serious parts, you know.
One of the reasons why Old World Blues was successful is because of how... Not how small, but it was on a smaller scale. If they had, I don't think with the technology they had, they could have made it on a bigger scale. Now, I'm not sure. They possibly can. I couldn't say. But if they can make Old World Blues as plentiful on a bigger scale, sure. I'm just not sure the technology is even there yet. You know what I mean? There's a lot of...
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Do you want to move on to the next hoax?
Yeah, we'll go with Survivor if you want.
Okay, so Survivor 299.
Oh, sorry, just to clarify, the Shadow of Boston thing is a complete hoax. Bethesda came out, didn't register a trademark on it. If you want to go out there and register a game, Shadow of Boston, it's still out there. You go do it. There you go, Marshall. Survivor.
So, sometime in the middle of 2013,
I thought it was this year.
Oh, was it this year? Anyway, at some point, Shadow 299, which is 2299, was this basically this site that was put up, and I think it's gone now. But basically, it was this site that was put up, and they had this ticker that basically said a specific date, or it would say different things. I don't remember exactly. I did see the site because at first I was really excited about it. Everyone was. Because the way it was designed, it almost seemed like it was made by a company. Like, it was so well designed, so well thought of. Some of the basically what would happen is you'd go to the site, and in the background there would be Morse code playing.
Yeah.
Which got people excited because, if there's a puzzle to be solved, people are all on it. And the Morse code changed every day. So did the message on the screen. And eventually a timer was added, which made people flip shit. Like, people were going, what's going on? And I remember one day I got super into it. I was researching Morse code. I was decrypting shit. I really got into it, mainly because it's just a puzzle and it's fun. The guy who designed it, at the end he admitted, yeah, this was a joke. And he sort of even admitted that in a funny way with a link to a funny YouTube video. And basically he admitted there was a hoax, but you saw afterwards something happened. Most people reacted horribly and in anger towards this guy, but me and quite a few others respected him for making such a intriguing story. Like, even though Fallout 4 didn't come out, he entertained us for 3 months, and that for me is I'm happy with that. So it was a hoax. It didn't come out. And he kept putting out all these rumors. He did actually several times reference the audio, the towers. Something interesting that he did do that actually may have relevance to Fallout 4 is he referenced several of the towers in Fallout 3. If you've ever discovered some of these radio towers, if you listen to their broadcasts, it's just displaying Morse code. Well, these Morse code messages can be interpreted as references to Fallout 4 if you translate them in certain ways, because there's different ways to interpret it. But there was one of these towers in Fallout 3 that had a sort of inkling reference to Fallout to Boston, not to Fallout 4 necessarily, but it's interesting. So that's basically all that happened on the Survivor, the 2299 host, and it went on for a while, and yeah.
You know what that website reminds me of? Do you remember the Fallout Online website?
Yes.
Yeah, well, that was actually real, though, and Bethesda shut it down!
Yep. You've been preparing that the entire time I talked, didn't you? You little bastard. You didn't listen to a word I said. You're just like, oh, fuck, I gotta find the app on my phone that has...
No, in all seriousness, that website was... I agree with you, it's good entertainment. I didn't get to attach to it. If I did, I probably would have flipped shit. Just like everyone else did, got angry at them. But you make some good points. I do think the website... Did you sign up for Fallout Online?
I did at the beginning, yeah.
Yeah, I signed up for the beta as well. I was there in January. I sat in the court case. I argued as best as I could. But
you shot the judge. You murdered him.
I did not shoot the judge! But I tried the best I could, and I did everything I could for interplay. But it just wasn't enough.
Yep.
God damn it.
Jesus. Okay. Would you like to move on to the next hoax?
I think you have talked enough about Survivor. I can't really add much to it.
I mean the next... I said the next hoax.
I know, I'm saying, like... I was thinking about whether we covered it enough. And I think it's been 5 minutes of you talking.
I thought of one that was interesting. And it was... Did we talk about the Kotaku thing in the last one?
Yes.
Did we talk about it?
We talked about Kotaku, but they come up with a lot of shit. Sometimes it's real.
Anyway, I mean, so what do you think about the thing that Kotaku leaked?
I think it's cool. I don't know what you're on about.
What?
I don't know what you're on about.
You have no idea what I'm talking about?
Oh, you on about the script?
Yeah, the script.
I'm sure we covered that last time, but okay. I don't think it's real because I don't think they'll do a talking player character.
Here's the thing. I read about that. and I looked up on scripts for things. Now, with things that are... That's the way
I read about that, and I looked up scripts for things.
I researched and watched a couple of videos on the way that studios, whether it's movies, video games, whatever, will create a fake script with a fake title and a lot of misleading information before the thing is announced, before the movie or game is announced. And
You mean
and
like planted
sometimes,
leaks and things like that?
What?
You mean like planted leaks and things like that? Like
No.
they intentionally
Specifically
leak out
something like
incorrect
let's say you're writing the script for the next Lord of the Rings movie.
Mm-hmm.
And if you left a script out on a table that said Lord of the Rings 3, someone would go, "Holy shit." You know, but if you left a script on the table that said Green Pastures of Yearling in 1974, someone would be like, "Yawn." You know? So people will but that's not the only thing they do. For if you're reading actors, to prevent actors who didn't get hired from leaking information, they come up with fluff scripts that basically are have nothing to do with the final product, or have very little to do with the final product, and are just there to see what the actor's range is, the voice actor. So it is very possible that was a real script, but it was complete fluff to test the voice actor out. So what I mean is, even if it's real, it means nothing. You know, it means almost nothing. And I don't think there will be a voiced player character. 1, because it'd ruin the game. 2, because it'd ruin Let's Plays of the game. And 3, because I hate it. Okay? I hate the idea of a voiced player character, because this is a game where you are the goddamn player character, and that's not my voice, goddammit. But yeah.
That was some really good analysis, actually, and a really good theory.
Jesus Christ, I didn't know if the clapping was sarcastic.
Really good theory as to how that script could have actually been from Bethsoft, but not actually been part of the game. Alright, clear some good stuff up. Nice.
Let's move on.
What's the year on Survivor on the Survivor website? It was Survivor and then a year, Fallout year, 22 something.
2299.
99, okay. I'm going to try and put some links in the description. Okay.
And I should mention that was implying that the next Fallout game would be released in the year 2299.
Which is a reasonable theory, because the previous one was 2281 start. That would be New Vegas. And then 3 was 2277. I am right on 77, right?
Yes, it's the 100-year anniversary of Fallout 1. So
yeah,
that's why.
I know. I thought Fallout 2 was 100 years after as well, but I was wrong. Because the bombs dropped on 2077. Yeah, okay. Completely mixed up my lore there. The final one, and the one that is probably the least likely to be anything, although it is the most confirmed, is the one that happened a couple of days ago, and that is that Bethesda, rumored to have filed a trademark on a image of the Pip-Boy.
Ooh! There's gonna be a Pip-Boy in the next Fallout, guys! Actually, that's reassuring. I heard one person say, "We should just get rid of the Pip-Boy."
Oh, God.
And I was like,
oh yeah, like
you
Skyrim.
should go and die in a ditch.
Because Skyrim's menu was so great, right,
Skyrim's
guys?
interface was awesome. It totally added personality to the game. It was soulless. The interface was soulless.
Hey, wait, when you leveled up, you looked up to the star.
Yeah, I guess that was kind of interesting.
I kind of like that,
yeah. Yeah, it was cute. Anyway. But the Pip-Boy is adorable. Come on. I mean, you can't get cute.
That's why I can barely change it with mods and stuff. It's because
I hate mods to the Pip-Boy. They changed it so much.
I don't mind when they have the handheld lore looking Pip-Boy, you know what I mean? I don't mind that. Yeah. But the ones that are like modern, it's like nah, leave my Pip-Boy alone.
Get that out of here.
Get that
like
out
what
of
is
here.
it called? It's like the Pip. It's like the Pippy Boy 2500. It's that little handheld device.
The one I like is called a Familiar Friend,
which
is a Pip-Boy looking handheld. But I usually don't use it. One, because it's so hard to uninstall. You have to like remove it from your inventory and shit. It's weird. Okay. Do you have anything to say about Oh, by the way, Bethesda confirmed that they are filing this trademark on the image of the Pip-Boy. Guys, confirmed.
And the image of the Pip-Boy has not been leaked.
Oh yes, it has.
Oh, okay. I'll have to look at that afterwards.
I think it's Vault Boy in a green Pip-Boy style doing a thumbs up. T-shirt likely coming.
That is giving almost nothing away. Oh, it's got a picture of Vault Boy in green on a Pip-Boy.
Yeah.
Huh.
Fallout 4 confirmed, guys.
Fallout 4 confirmed. That could be for anything.
Boston confirmed. Okay, so we have half an hour. We will leave Fallout 4 hopes and fears to another day, I think.
What? Come on.
We talk about Fallout 4 for like 20 minutes. We can come back next week and talk. Come back next week, ladies and gentlemen, to hear our Fallout 4, or the week
after.
This will
just turn into a Fallout podcast.
Well, it's yeah, probably.
We have a lot to talk about.
Come back next week for our Fallout 4. Well, that's our main audience. Our Fallout 4 hopes and predictions. If you do not care about fake fighting, turn off now, because we're about to get into Survivor Series.
Bum bum bum.
Bum bum bum. So where do you want to start? Do you want to skip the pre-show, or do you want to do the pre-show?
We can talk a little bit about the pre-show.
Okay, so what do you think of the panel? It was the typical panel.
It was panel-y.
It was the panel. No, it's the same panel they had last time.
Well, that's why I said it was panel-y.
Oh right. Oh, I see.
I thought Booker T was entertaining.
Yeah, but Booker T is usually entertaining. But did he provide any insights?
Oh no.
I thought Alex Riley did well this month.
If anything, Booker T confused the situations. I'm like, wait, who's fighting?
If I hit my brother, that's okay. If my brother hits me, that's okay. But if someone else hits my brother, then we're gonna have trouble. Shucky
like,
ducky quack quack.
And then at that point, you're like, wait, is Booker T fighting in this match?
And then they came back to her and was like, I'm being joined by Hall of Famer Booker T, and he just holds his ring up in front of the camera.
Kisses it.
Yeah.
Holds up a baby, kisses the baby.
I'm surprised Renee Young didn't talk a lot this week. You know, the chick.
I know who you're talking about.
Uh-huh. She's getting a lot of stuff down in NXT, the other show that I always tell you to watch.
I don't know. She's kind of. Do you think she's a good announcer? I didn't think she was that good.
It depends where you put her.
You want to put her really close up to the camera with it pressed against her chest.
If you put her in a panel show, I don't think she excels. If you put her in the announcer's booth, she's okay. Backstage interviews, untouchable. She is so good at
video camera. Amazing.
Okay, we're gonna move on. Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman.
You were calling him Paul Hammond. You said like Hammond will be on the post show, and I was like, what? So I didn't actually call. And then later on, you spelled it out, and I was like, oh, you meant Paul Heyman. I was like, what?
He seemed above it all.
Yeah, obviously, because I don't know if you know who he is, but he's the manager for the World Heavyweight Champion, Brock Lesnar. Oh, sorry, Brock Lesnar. And Brock Lesnar hasn't been on TV since September, so wherever you are, Brock, we all hope you're okay. We hope you're alive.
He's hiding.
I know they haven't mentioned you on TV. I hope you're not dead.
Dolph Ziggler is coming for you.
We'll get to that later, I'm sure, although we only have like 28 minutes.
I feel like we should hurry on to that part because that's the most interesting part.
Well, you want to skip the entire like 2 other hours of the show?
No. I just mean we should spend the most part on time.
Well, considering the WWE spent the most time on that match, maybe we should. Anyway. So let's quickly go through the pre-show matches. Fandango versus Justin Gabriel. Fandango's back, and they took away the only good thing about him, his music. Mm-hmm. So I don't exactly know why Rosa Mendez can't dance. He's doing a leg drop off the top rope. Yay. Justin Gabriel can work a match. Fandango kinda can. Is there anything different about him? Did you like the match?
I didn't really like it that much. It wasn't that interesting. I don't know.
You don't know.
I didn't like it.
Didn't like it?
No.
I wasn't a huge. I didn't get invested in it. That was the problem. There
was no tension. No climax.
There's no build, and it was a pre-show match. To be fair, it was a pre-show match.
Yeah, it was pre-show. I mean, it was there. It was there to keep the audience from throwing a riot.
Which, I mean, it is St. Louis.
Shit. Anyway.
Oh God. So Miz and Ms. Dow were in the back, and Ms. Dow was holding a picture frame like it was a mirror.
That was my favorite time. That was my favorite part of the entire pre-show.
The entire pre-show.
Because it was just
wait.
It was
that was
so
your
clever.
favorite part of the entire pre-show.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You just keep talking. I'll get to my favorite part after the match.
Okay. I just thought it was beautiful. And it was just unexpected, and it was a simple way to improve the stunt double way of life.
I like Miz Dow.
He became his reflection.
Mm-hmm.
And as usual, Ms. Dow was 4 seconds behind. And even 4 seconds, even if he has 4 seconds to think about what to do, he always messes it up. There will be a lot of Ms. Dow later on in this, but yeah.
Yeah, it's true. So then we had a match between Swagger and Cesaro again, and guess who went over? Swagger. So what do you think of this match? USA? America?
America! I thought it was entertaining.
I thought it was a decent match. Yeah.
Well, Uncle adds a lot. Uncle and his forked beard. And I thought the patriotic fervor in the audience was lucid. You could just taste it.
Well, that's every audience though in WWE.
That's true, because they're all in America except the one in London.
And sometimes they go to Canada.
Oh yeah. Well,
and obviously, but not on TV. But every week they'll go to like Mexico.
I just think Cesaro's thing is a little bit.
You don't like Cesaro hasn't had a character for a while, but I like the kind of the package they've created for him with the entrance. The theme music's growing on me. The way the charisma he has. He's good on the mic.
I think the fact that his motive is his MO is neutrality.
Well, that's not his MO. That's just what he was talking about that night.
No, okay.
I know his finish is called the Neutralizer, but it's not all he is. That's.
I know he sells T-shirts that says "I am neutral," but.
No, but he was making a joke because he was coming down saying the Swiss has always remained neutral. So of course, in tonight's main event, I remain neutral, except lol, Cena wins. No, lol, he supported the Authority.
He actually supported the Authority.
Yeah, because he's a heel, and obviously, lol,
yeah,
bad guys.
The Authority, lol.
The Authority always wins, lol.
Yeah, right.
So then after the match, should we give grades to these matches?
Okay.
We'll give grades to the main show matches.
Yeah.
So after the match, or maybe before the match,
I give an A grade to Uncle's beard. Continue.
The last thing on the pre-show that we haven't talked about yet. Oh no, we can't talk about that. Do you know why?
Why?
Because I'm afraid I've got some bad news. So Bad News returned to deliver a decent promo. It wasn't quite bad news worthy, but he said bad news twice.
He also threw his hat in the ring to become the leader, to become the Authority.
Yeah, I mean, we're recording this on Monday, so we don't know what happened on Raw yet. In fact, that's what I'm going to watch after this. So whether Bad News is the new GM or not, well, we'll have to find out, won't we? Yeah. I doubt it. So then after the pre-show, by the way, Bad News is awesome. What do you think of Bad News, Marshall? It wasn't his best promo. It was a good one. Okay.
He's very charismatic. He's got bad news.
He's got bad news to show. Oh, there was one episode of he's
got a very heavy, thick, manly accent. He sounds like he should
from
be
Manchester.
A transporter.
Manchester.
Makes sense.
Yeah, there was one episode of this YouTube show they do where he had to go around giving good news. I'll have to link it to you at one point. So then the main show started. So the first match of the night, one of the better ones, Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Los Matadores. Wait, I should have gone through all their names. Sorry, Diego and Fernando. Wait a minute, is it Epico and Primo? Oh, those two Mexican guys. With the bull. Yeah, those guys.
With the weird Usos. Midget.
The Usos, who every single month, I hate up until the point they start wrestling, and then I realize they're actually really good.
They're interesting. They're like
Yeah.
clones.
Yes, this is true.
They're a very
twins.
good tag team.
Yeah, they had to pay their dues for too long. They didn't get the tag team title. They've only had one tag team title reign.
No, what I mean is the idea that the fact that they're twins and that they're so similar makes them a good tag team as far as the idea of it, you know.
Oh yeah, it's funny. You know when heels are twins?
Yeah.
They always use the switching thing, like the tired twin gets confused for the active twin, and the other twin like goes in and like takes a disqualification or something. Whereas when they're faces, the referee accidentally gets them confused. So one twin is the active man, the other twin gets pinned. Suddenly the faces like get disadvantageous from the from the twin magic, as it were. But yeah, the Usos were in this match, and then Golden Stardust, who I love. I love Golden Stardust. Am I the only one?
I thought they were very Stardust. I'm familiar with Goldust. Stardust is fucking crazy.
Well,
he talks like a reptile, and he's like, get back, and he's constantly screaming and hitting things, and he's a very interesting character. Goldust is just sort of Goldusty, you know.
Goldust, I really think, is working his best stuff now. Like he's not getting that much time in the ring, which means when he is, do you see that Randy Orton side slam last night where he just like flips one of the Usos over?
Yeah,
it was just, like I see that he does that most of the days now, and that to me, seeing that at the ripe old age of 50 something is very good to see from Goldust. Stardust,
he's got a very young look too.
He does. I noticed that last night. He was looking like pretty. It's probably because of the face paint, but he was looking like pretty similar to Stardust. Stardust, well, he's got a lot of talent in the ring. He's pulling off the character as well as he can. Unfortunately, the character is they took Cody Rhodes and told him, you see, Goldust, be a little more crazy. And then we got the stars of the show, the other tag team. Do you want to introduce them?
I'm having trouble thinking of who we're talking about. Oh, of course. What's wrong with me? We have The Miz and Mizdow. What's Mizdow's first name again? Is it Daniel?
Damien. So his real name's, well, his real WWE name is Damien Sandow. And so he did this gimmick thing 2 or 3 months ago where every week he'd come out as an impression of someone. So it was like Bret Hartdow or Bret Sandhart or something. And then he would like be an astronaut and a football player and a basketball player, and then eventually he's just settled on The Miz, and that's how we've got here. So the crowd was so into Mizdow.
Oh, they love Mizdow. I think I'm very into him. He's more entertaining to watch. Like, oh my god, the amount of dedication in this match, because when The Miz gets thrown down or pinned,
yeah,
Mizdow will not only just like act out the movements, he will throw himself off the ring onto the floor, at least a 5-foot drop onto concrete or whatever that floor is, and then act it out. It is just, he is all in. He's just such an entertainer.
Well, he's got to be all in because he's got nothing else going for him. So he's the crowd was so into him, and Stardust worked the crowd really well. Miz did it as well, but they would point to Sandow and be like, you want him in? And then the crowd would be like, yeah. And then they would be like, nah. And Sandow would like barely got in. And the crowd was into Miz too. The crowd was booing Miz a lot and then cheering Sandow.
Yeah, and then Mizdow ended up winning at the end.
Yeah, I know. Mizdow, see, I loved it because Mizdow, first of all, we'll talk about the match. The match was a spot fest. Bodies flying everywhere. The bull ended up going flying over the top.
They ended up a lot of the matches were like that. They ended up throwing all the bodies onto the floor, onto each other. It was like a bowling pin.
It was an entertaining match, if not a little bit clumsy.
And what I thought was interesting is Mizdow took the match, but then The Miz took both of the belts and held them both in his hand like a total douchebag.
Yeah, I loved it because you could see, because The Miz usually doesn't even acknowledge that Sandow exists. So you saw him in the corner, like, because Mizdow tags himself in, gets the pin. So you see it on Miz's face. Miz is like, what the hell are you doing for a second? And he's like, did I just win the tag team titles? And he just picks him up like, yay, I won the tag team titles. And Sandow is there doing the gimmick without the belts. It's like, oh, lovely. I'm wondering whether they're going to give Sandow the belt or whether Sandow's going to go get 2 replica belts. I'm wondering what they're going to go with that. But what grade would you give this match, Marshall?
I'd give it as far as as far as like entertainment with the characters, I'd give it a B easily, if not an A, because the characters definitely kept the crowd entertained. Between the Miz and Mizdow and Stardust, it was pretty entertaining. The fighting, pretty subpar. I'd give it a C, maybe even a D. I didn't like the fighting that much.
I thought it was like decent. I didn't dislike the fighting as well. So what's your overall grade?
B.
Okay, B. I didn't think the fighting was as I didn't like hate the fighting. Well, not hate the fight. I thought the fighting was quite smooth. I thought it was clumsy at times. I thought they did the spots well, and like you said, the characterization was spot on. I'd give it a B minus, maybe a B. Yeah, it's a solid match. Next we have was it the traditional 4-on-4 Divas match?
It was the toilet break.
Yeah,
right?
well, no, it kind of was, but I went downstairs to get food, came back, and the Divas match was on. So
it was funny.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
We missed some promos. Do you want to talk about?
Before that, wasn't Adam Rose?
Even
Wasn't
later.
Adam Rose match before that?
Rose was after Ambrose and Wyatt.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. So do you want to talk about the Triple H promo at the start, or do you want to just talk about matches?
Let's just talk about matches. We don't have that much time.
It's true. We have 16 minutes. Well, we can go over if we need to. So traditional Divas match. I didn't have very high expectations going into this match, and so most of it was okay. I was kind of expecting it to be a clean sweep, but for 1 second I thought Paige might come back, and that would have been cool.
And she didn't.
No. she didn't. Did you see Tyson Kidd tweeting?
No.
So you know the guy who accompanied Natalia to the ring, her husband.
He got up at the end.
Yeah, he was like taking photos of himself and putting them up on Twitter, like, my team is winning, great coach over here, proving I'm a great coach and a great wrestler. I should be wrestling, not my wife. It's some funny shit. And Tyson Kidd's great, but Alicia Fox is not a good wrestler. She's not. Oh, you know Summer Rae, the blonde one?
Most of the girls in that ring were shit.
Yeah, there was like 3 or 4. Emma Page, though. We got to see Emma Page again.
I'd say the good wrestlers were Paige, Emma Page, and Natalia.
Are you saying Emma Page or Emma and Page?
Emma and Page.
Right, okay. I thought you were like Emma Page. Like you thought I was saying the same person.
No. Emma Page and Natalia were.
And I know a lot of people aren't going to like this because I know Paige has regressed so much as a wrestler since then. But since Emma Page won, those two just have the look down. Paige is a badass heel right now with that look. And Emma, I guess she hasn't changed that much. But Emma can get over with her current look. Those two just need pushes. They need pushes. One of them needs the belt. Probably Paige. But they're not going to take the belt off of... Oh, spoiler. Never mind. Okay. So what would you give this match as a rating?
I would give it... I'd say because of C+. At best.
Ooh, that's a high one. Ooh,
I said at best.
Okay, at best. Okay, so, well, what's your actual grade then? Is it C+?
I'd say the amount of tit kicking kept it entertaining. I'd say C-.
Okay, so it wasn't the worst match in the world. I'm not going to give it an F because Eva Marie is a real thing. I'll give it an E+. It doesn't quite reach a D, but it's not disastrous. I'll give it an E. No, I'll give it more than that because we saw Paige and Emma. So I'll give it a flat D. I'll give it a flat D.
Okay. So C- and a D averages out to like a D+.
So I gave it a D, a flat D, and the tag team match I gave a B-. The next match, what? It wasn't Ambrose Wyatt, was it? I think it was. This pay-per-view was short in terms of matches.
It moved through pretty quickly. The last fight was
huge, yeah.
Long.
So the semi-main event, the second main event of the show, was Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt, and I have no clue why they're fighting, but I'm glad they are.
It was so crazy. I mean, Bray Wyatt is of course gonna be crazy, and Dean Ambrose has that just sort of psychopath killer vibe to him, but it got weird. And towards the end where literally it wasn't even a beating at the end or a savage beating. It was Dean Ambrose throwing a bunch of trash. I think I said this to you. It was Dean Ambrose throwing a bunch of trash onto Bray Wyatt's unconscious body. and setting up a ladder, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
He's selling tables, ladders, and chairs next week on the WWE Network.
This is entertaining.
So, the wrestling was good for what it was, but we only got like 8 minutes of it before Bray Wyatt decided to grab the microphone and do what Bray Wyatt does best and talk. Meaningless shit. But, it was good. Bray Wyatt's entrance last night was so good. Yeah. The cell phones, St. Louis just went mad for him. And that was fine. His entrance is great, and it's good to see when the crowd gets into it. The wrestling was decent. The story advances a little bit. I like the fact that Dean Ambrose hits him with the chair.
Would you like to tell them your theory about Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt?
So when I was watching the promo last night, I was thinking, you know what? Bray Wyatt is Dean Ambrose's father. That makes so much sense to me right now.
And it'd be so interesting. Yeah. And so good. Yeah. I hope that's true.
I like that Dean Ambrose hit Bray Wyatt with the chair, because remember at WrestleMania 30, Bray Wyatt gave the chair to Cena, and he was like, hit me, Cena, and Cena just doesn't do it. Hustle, loyalty, respect, lol, Cena wins.
Yeah.
But then Dean Ambrose gets the chair, and he's like, all right, I'm not going to hit him. Oh, yes, I am going to hit him. Just hits him with the chair.
What am I thinking? I'm a psychopath.
Yeah, just hits him with the chair. And I like that, afterwards, Dean Ambrose does what Dean Ambrose does, and he picks a bunch of chairs out of the ring and throws them in the ring.
Yeah, throws them, covers him in tables.
Yeah.
Makes a sandwich out of tables, and then puts the pepper and salt chairs on top of it.
Yeah, and then he gets a giant ladder. This is clearly selling TLC next month for $9.99. He gets on top of the ladder, and I think to myself, Dean, I kind of want you to jump. And then he gets off the ladder. All the refs are stopping him from pushing the ladder over. I'm thinking, Dean, just push the ladder onto the refs.
Yeah.
Oh, it was good. It didn't have a proper ending, obviously. It's designed to sell next month. And if it was designed to sell next month, I'm in. So
I would say, considering the ending and the fighting at the beginning and middle was good, but it wasn't. I didn't think it was that good. So I'm gonna give it a C+.
Ooh, you rate this less than a tag team match?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I thought the tag team match had better fighting. Personally,
okay.
I thought Stardust was kicking fucking ass in that fight, and it was entertaining to watch. But anyway.
Okay. So here we go. Oh no! Wait! Before we get on to the controversial match.
Yeah, let's get to Rose.
Adam Rose and the Bunny defeat Slator Gator. I didn't see this match at all, so Marshall, take it away.
I saw it, and I don't actually know the difference between Slater and Gator. So
okay, so Titus O'Neil.
Which one's the black guy?
Titus O'Neil, Gator.
Okay. Anyway, so basically the match was pretty short. It was 5 minutes at most. I think it was shorter than that. And it started out as just a random promo where they're having actually the promo that started this fight was them obviously pushing WWE action figures. The Bunny and Adam Rose were playing with action figures. And Adam Rose said, "I made you who you are. He basically told the Bunny that because I made you who you are, you're going to lose this action figure fight to make me feel better." It was so weird. And the Bunny didn't care and beat him in the action figure fight. So then the other, Gator and Slater walked up and made fun of him, and so they challenged him to a match. They got into the match. Adam Rose was doing okay. He was getting beat up a little bit, and the Bunny tagged himself in within like a minute. The Bunny kicked the shit out of them. He was doing off the top rope bunny kicks, which it was amazing gymnastics that they were pulling off there. And whoever this was, and Puddy will probably talk about who he thinks it was. They have a lot of stamina, and it was pretty entertaining. And then of course, Bunny taps him out, and they win the match. And
wait. He won by submission?
Yeah.
Oh, poor Heath Slater. Oh, he got
tapped out by a bunny, and Adam Rose was pissed.
Oh yeah.
So anyway,
it's been a slow build. I mean, they've been like hinting at a heel turn for Ambrose for like a month, and he's been kicking the bunny every week, and the bunny just keeps on hopping.
Hey, he's a great character. I like that actually.
So my theory about who's in the bunny suit is Darren Young. For anybody who wants to know, I imagine it's just going to be but Darren Young. It won't be exciting, but yeah.
And the fight, I'd give it, since you didn't watch it, I'll give it a grade. Unless you want to give it a grade.
It was a squash match, so let me have a guess. D.
I actually, because of the amazing moves by the bunny, I'm gonna give it a C.
Oh, okay.
It was a pretty short match, and it was shit for the most part, but the moves at the end were really impressive, so I'll give it a C. Okay, let's move on to the controversial match.
All right,
and we have 10 minutes or so less.
6, but we can overflow for the main event. So Nikki Bella defeats Brie Bella via pinfall. Nikki Bella defeats AJ Lee via pinfall to win the Divas Championship.
And basically, Brie Bella kissed AJ Lee, which for a second I was just like, this is hot. And then when AJ Lee got pinned, I was like, oh fuck.
I know, right?
Totally, it was and
then I realized, I was like, wait a minute, this is WrestleMania 28 all over again, and suddenly something that I like in the moment that I'll probably in like a day's time think is completely stupid turned into something that I actually really liked, as long as AJ isn't leaving the company tonight. As long as AJ isn't like leaving and this is the way they send her off.
That would be a stupid way to send her off.
But as long as it's like, oh, Brie Bella, her husband, lost the World Heavyweight Championship due to AJ doing something stupid. So it's payback, and it's fuel for a Brie Bella heel turn. And I saw Brie Bella wrestle AJ on Friday, and it was dreadful. And Brie Bella needs to not get back in the ring ever again. And if it means Brie can be Nikki's manager, all power to her. And it wasn't dreadful. It wasn't garbage. It was a nice, solid...
30 seconds.
It was 30 seconds of decent character development where there could have been a good match. If AJ leaves the company tomorrow, this is an F-rated segment. If AJ doesn't leave the company, D+.
I'll go with your rating because it was so short that I don't even,
it's you don't have to rate it as a match, right? As a segment.
Okay. Next match.
Okay, so Team Cena defeats... Cena wins. Team Cena defeats Team Authority via pinfall with Dolph Ziggler with the final elimination on Seth Rollins. Following interference from Triple H, the Cronies, Stephanie McMahon, and Randy Orton, and Sting. And eventually Sting.
So, I mean, it started out as a decent match. A lot of at first it was sort of leaning towards Team Cena, then leaned back to Authority, back and forth, blah blah. Then I think when it really heated up was when the Spanish announcers table got taken out by Dolph Ziggler's motionless body.
So me and Marshall had a bet at the start of the night how long the Spanish announcer table would last. I said I thought it would get knocked out in the tag team match, just because there were so many teams and all the action happened on the other side, though. That's the problem.
Almost got knocked out because of how many bodies they were throwing over the ropes. I wouldn't be. Anyway.
Well, the main event, it eventually Rusev. I think it was the perfect way to eliminate Rusev. First of all, let's talk about all the eliminations. Mark Henry gets knocked out instantly. I'm not a huge Mark Henry fan, so I'm not a big.
And he got knocked out in the first 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Which
was good because it gave you the Triple H and Stephanie reactions.
Yeah, and it wasn't really that much to talk about. So, next elimination?
I think the next one was... No, it can't be Rusev.
It was... it's a big... Not Big Show, big...
Big guy. It was Ryback.
I think it was big... I think Ryback got knocked out.
Ryback
got... I said Ryback got nuked out or something.
Okay,
Ryback got knocked out.
Yeah. How did he go? I know Rusev pinned him. Wasn't it like a curb stomp?
I think so. He got knocked out. I think he was almost passed out.
Yeah, and then Rusev gets the pin, which is fine. And then Rusev goes mental on Dolph Ziggler, who is at this point, about 10 minutes into the match, dead. Dolph Ziggler is already dead.
Dolph Ziggler is already a sweaty pile of meat who can move maybe his leg and his left finger. He is like, he's dragging his body around different parts of the. He surprisingly, with only limited movement, he visited probably every part of that ring and the outer ring.
So I think Ziggler kicks out, which pisses Rusev off, which means Rusev starts ripping.
There's a lot of kicking out.
Which means Rusev starts ripping apart the announce tables, puts Ziggler on the Spanish one, stands on the English one, and then goes for a massive splash. Ziggler somehow moves out of the way.
Jumps out.
And then Rusev goes through the table, and his reaction and Lana's reaction is perfect. Rusev's there like, dead.
Rusev basically kills himself. He was out of it.
Ziggler gets back into the ring at the count of 8, which, by the way, now they're counting countouts. Let's talk about countouts later. And then the cronies
are getting up what it can only be described as a 500-pound Russian man up. And these two cronies are like each weigh 100 pounds.
They are the cruiserweight division.
They're trying to lift this guy up. And they're doing horrible. And they get him in, but it's too late.
No, they don't get him in. They drop him.
I thought they almost got him in.
They almost got him in, but they never got him into the ring. They dropped him right before.
They gave up. Yeah, they dropped him on the floor because cronies. Anyway, hashtag cronies are evil. LOL.
The next elimination was Eric Rowan. Yeah, Eric Rowan by Luke Harper, which I thought was the perfect booking of that, because obviously Luke Harper is the one with the most potential. He's the Intercontinental Champion. Has to go over his brother. Great. And if we get a Luke Harper versus Eric Rowan feud, I'm okay with that.
And
works.
They're both sweaty incest children.
Indie. I loved it when they tagged. I love every time Rowan gets into the ring and Harper's eyes start to go mental. He looks up.
Yeah, he just goes,
I know you.
Yeah, it's like that too. Like, it's not even like well thought of rage. You can tell it's just simple animal rage. Like, I've seen your face before. I want to tear it apart.
I don't even think it's rage. I think he's just like, what's going on? I thought you were on my side.
Anyway,
but yeah, so Eric Rowan gets knocked out, and then lol, Cena wins. No. Wait.
No,
what? Cena gets curb stomped?
40 more minutes in the match?
Cena gets curb stomped, and Seth Rollins pins him. What? Are we on Bizarro Land? Am I dreaming?
Well, you skipped an important part. He got curb stomped by the Big Show.
Oh shit! Yeah, totally.
Big Show, who was on Team Cena.
So Big Show,
and this is at the point of the match where Cena just got beat the shit out of by, I think, probably Kane.
Yeah.
And he was about to pass out. And he's barely standing up, and basically at this point, all the remaining fighters are in the ring,
except
screaming at each other. Well,
except for Ziggler. Ziggler's like knocked out in the side.
Yeah, Ziggler's passed out, but the Authority are just screaming at them, and Big Show's standing there. Cena's like crawling, like sort of like hobbling towards the match, and then Big Show randomly just boom! It happened so fast, I kind of missed the moment.
I like it because what happened was Big Show was looking at the 3 big giant Authority members in front of him, thinking, it ain't worth it, and then just punches Cena and walks away.
Yeah, and then just walks out, which means just then 2 of them get knocked out. I think it was probably Seth Rollins or Kane.
It was Rollins who pinned Cena. After Rollins does curb stomp Big Show. Curb stomp Cena after the Big Show knockout punch, and then pins him, and it's great. It's glorious. And then Big Show gets counted out, apparently, although the ref doesn't start counting for some insane reason.
Yeah, but Big Show basically... Well, I think their excuse was because he left the entire state arena, that they didn't need to count. He was automatically disqualified. But then
Big Show's out, right? Cena's out,
Big Show's out, Cena's out, all that's left...
But the ref's not counting. Ziggler's outside the ring for like 20 seconds, and the ref doesn't count.
Well, yeah, that was kind of gay. But the fact that...
Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why?
Why?
Lol, Cena wins.
Yeah. So Ziggler is outside, totally motionless corpse. He's just like...
The Authority is so smug right now. And
yeah,
it's
the Authority... Awesome. There's 3 of them left. Triple H and Steph are basically having mental sex with each other. Like, that's the only way it can be described, because they were just grinning so much. What?
JBL joins in.
Yeah.
The heel commentator.
And basically... they leave the ring, start beating the shit.
And then they drag him back in. And then
drag him in.
Ziggler gets the roll-up pin on Kane.
Yeah. Like, it seems physically impossible.
Yeah.
Kane's beating the shit. And actually, before he started doing that, they started doing a thing where they just kept going in a circle, like a line, to beat up Ziggler's motionless corpse. Like, they would just Kane would tag in Seth Rollins, and they just kept tagging round and round. And eventually, yeah, he tagged Kane. He tapped out Kane. It's pretty good.
Yeah, he gets the roll-up pin on Kane, and then Luke Harper comes in, and Luke Harper and Dolph Ziggler have, of course, a great match between themselves for a bit. Before, I think Ziggler gets the zigzag on Harper. Gets his finisher off on him. And then pins him. Yeah, it was
pretty crazy.
And then suddenly Steph and Triple H are like, what?
Stephanie and Triple H are sweating like bitches. Bullet.
And then it's Rollins versus Ziggler, and Rollins does pin Cena here, so I can't really complain about him not being used too much tonight. But he does pin Cena. But it's Rollins versus Ziggler. They go on to have an absolutely incredible match. Doesn't Ziggler kick out of the curb stomp? I think he does.
Oh no! Ziggler kicked out of about 30 different attempts to pin him. It was incredible.
And then, of course, Ziggler hits the zigzag and gets Rollins pinned. And then Triple H drags a ref out of the ring.
Yeah. As the ref is about to count them out, you see, it was funny because all you can see is the ref sort of coming into the ring off screen, and he gets pulled out by some mysterious force, and it's like, oh shit, he's dead, and it goes to Triple H pulling him out, beating the shit out of him, and then going into the ring to beat the already motionless, lifeless corpse of Dolph Ziggler.
You missed a step. He pulls the first ref out of the ring. A second ref comes down to try and count, and he beats the shit out of the second ref.
In a regular match, totally illegitimizing it, but hey, let's keep going. And so
then he beats the shit out of
shit out of Dolph Ziggler.
Pedigrees him.
He doesn't, and I liked it because it was while he was wearing. He takes off his suit and sort of rolls up his sleeves, gets to work, and he's wearing his business shirt, and he's just beating the shit out of a motionless, lifeless. And at this point, Ziggler's out. He's done.
Yeah. So then he pulls Rollins on top of Ziggler, motions for his corrupt ref, which is the same spot I was going for.
There's so many refs.
Well, I think. The second ref that came out is Charles Robinson, I think, Little Nate.
Yeah.
And then I know the corrupt ref is Scott Armstrong. That's been around for a while. Poor guy. He's actually a good ref. He comes down and he starts counting. It's 1, 2. It should be 3. There's nothing stopping him from being 3, but suddenly a crow calls.
Yes, and he stops counting.
Triple H is gonna fire.
And Triple H doesn't say to continue counting. He's like, "Wait, stop. We need to wait 30 minutes for this guy to enter the ring. Then another 10 minutes for him to stare at me. Then 5 minutes of us sort of sweating. And then we're going to fight. He's going to beat me. And he's going to do what I just did. Except he's not going to stop when music plays."
Yeah. So Sting debuts. And everyone marks out, obviously. Randy Orton is not here, which makes me sad. But Sting's here. He drops a Scorpion Death Drop on H. And maybe sets up Mania, maybe doesn't. Who knows?
Sting looks like a punk rock star.
He also shares the name of one.
True.
No, he's a WCW legend. He's an icon. He's been carried to some good matches, but he's 50. He's 50 something, 55 years old. I don't want to see Sting versus Triple H. Am I the only one who doesn't want to see this?
Because Triple H would, in a real match, Triple H I think would kill him.
Probably. Triple H has stayed in shape despite his old age, whereas
Triple H is gigantic. Triple H is not just a monster; he's also pretty athletic, and he's a good fighter.
I like the ending was schmozzy.
I thought the fact that he lost to Sting felt a little forced. Like, it didn't feel like he should have lost.
Well, Sting isn't like debuting to get friggin' pwned.
I've got a question. Why did Sting side with Team Cena if he's not even involved?
He's the righter of wrongs. He's the eternal good guy. So
he's a dark hero.
So he is actually. And so he saw like the Authority trying to cheat to win. And so actually, you know what? I'm not going to give you an explanation because the WWE hasn't given one. So we don't know yet. We may never know. We probably will never know.
Sting will never be seen again.
See, you know, I would actually like that. That's fine. He comes to right the most... Because they were billing this as the most important match in WWE history, right?
Yeah.
If he sets this right wrong, never shows up again, fine. That's a great moment. He's going to show up tonight and rant and rave about some shitty shit.
Maybe not, though. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy who talks.
Well, he doesn't talk. He doesn't talk a lot, but maybe WWE will make him talk a lot. Anyway, the schmozzy finish was good. Wasn't great, but the moment was. The wrestling was really good for most of it. The elimination order was pretty good for most of it.
The longest portion was after Dolph Ziggler was by himself, just getting beaten the shit out of. That took up most of the fight.
Yeah, I mean.
We forgot
and he sells death again.
One of the best parts. The cronies come in.
Oh yeah, and then they get beat the shit up.
Cronies come in to beat up Dolph Ziggler, and Dolph Ziggler, still completely out of control of his muscles, almost dead, somehow fights one of the cronies, as per usual, is holding him helpless while the other one kicks him, and somehow he turns it on both of them, KOs them both, I think, in like 10 seconds.
Yeah,
because they're cronies. And then continues to fight with Triple H, but it was that part was entertaining. It was a good match.
It was a great match, and you know what? If Cena hadn't come out at the end and celebrated with Ziggler, I would have given it an A, but he did. So I'm giving it an A-.
I would have loved it if Cena was just dead for the rest of the match.
Yeah,
just lying in there.
You know when the authorities coming out and beating the shit out of Ziggler when Triple H is in the ring cheating? Yeah, Cena, you know you can come and save him, right?
Yeah, I know. And it's like, because at that point everyone's cheating. Who cares? Like everyone could come out, but I think of the closet. No, but I think
like Darren Young.
I think it was an awesome match. Puddy and I were over chat and our chat. I mean, should we post our chat history? No.
No. That's an insane idea.
But we were on the edge. I don't know. I felt like I was on the edge of my seat. And
yeah, I mean, once Sting came out, the problem was Sting comes out for like 10 minutes, and as soon as he come out, you know Cena's winning. So that kind of like drops the anticlimactic thing of somebody getting a quick pinfall. I was hoping like Sting drags the unconscious body of Ziggler over Rollins, leaves the building, referee starts going 1, 2, and then Randy Orton comes out and drags Rollins back over Ziggler. Now that would have been shocking. You know what I mean?
That would have been very shocking.
All right, so yeah, because
or the cronies wake back up.
Yes, because this was a great match in a lot of ways. It wasn't perfect. There was some clumsiness. It dragged at times, but it was great. It was one of the best matches I've seen from WWE in a couple since Shield Evolution. Maybe Brock Lesnar, Cena. It was great. It was good, and they pulled it off. The finish wasn't fantastic, but it was a great moment. And of course, lol, Cena wins. So I think I'm gonna give it an A minus, maybe an A at a push. Give it an A minus.
I'm gonna give it an A because I mean, even with the end with Cena, I thought it was an amazing match, incredible, and they really went outside the box with that one.
You know, if Ziggler was, come on, how much better would it have been if Ziggler was on his own in the ring though? Just the sole survivor, Dolph Ziggler. No, you remember when he went back up to the ramp and then Cena just comes out and says, "Yeah, we did it! Yeah."
Oh yeah, that was gay. That was gay because Cena claimed credit. He did almost nothing.
Almost
in that
nothing.
Match. He like fought a little bit, then he got just destroyed by Kane. Who earlier in the match, Kane couldn't fight for his life, but all of a sudden when Cena's in the ring, Kane kills him. He just goes. Doof, 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 doof. Yeah, it was kind of inconsistent with Kane's fighting ability in that match.
Yeah, it just. Like that's the thing. That's the problem. Such a great match, but every time I talk about Cena in the match, I'm sad, and I hate to hate on him because he's not that bad, but he literally ruined what. You know, if Dean Ambrose was there instead of Cena, and Cena was facing Bray Wyatt, I probably would have been pissed off that Cena goes over Bray Wyatt again. But Dean Ambrose would have made way more sense in that match.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought it was good.
Overall show rating.
Overall show rating. B+.
I'm gonna go with a solid B. Yeah, I thought. Oh, actually, no. I'll take that back. I'll go with you. B+. The show was brought up by Triple H's promos throughout the night, and Stephanie losing her shit at the end.
Oh my God, we forgot to. Yeah, Stephanie turned into the batshit queen. Oh my God, she was just like, "Wah!" what? And my favorite part was when the audience started chanting and taunting her. She really fed off the audience, and the audience fed back off of her, and she was closing her ears like an insane woman. Triple H looked like he just got out of fucking Vietnam.
He was there like, oh god, what happened? And then she's like, it's not over.
Yeah, she's screaming, it's not over. He's just like,
yes,
where am I? He's lost his mind. He's in Cuckoo Land. She's in the other side of Cuckoo Land. They're on totally opposite ends of the spectrum with insanity. Yeah. And then they eventually just sort of Stephanie like I don't know, it was a combination of Stephanie running out and Triple H sort of calming Stephanie down. Yeah. It was weird, but
it was great though.
It was great, and actually,
perfect.
That was a really long at the end there with Stephanie. Stephanie, they took like 5 minutes to milk that at least.
See, it's bad that I read about rumors before the show started, because if I hadn't known that Orton was in the building, I wouldn't have been so disappointed that he didn't show up. Because that last segment was so long, I was just waiting for Orton to just show up and RKO Triple H. So I was just waiting for that. I don't know why, but that was that, and the fact that it didn't happen just disappointed me. Unfortunately, if I didn't know he was in the building, I wouldn't have been so sorry.
I didn't care.
Yeah, well, I did tell you at the start of the show. I
probably wasn't paying attention.
you remember like halfway through the main event, you were saying, oh, this seems, when Ziggler was left on his own, you said this seems too perfect to be real or something like that, and I was like, yep, Orton incoming. Not a spoiler, just a prediction, and it was Sting instead of Orton, which is fine. Yeah, it was
unexpected.
Well, it wasn't unexpected. We knew Sting was in the building. I knew Sting was in the building.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, you ruined the matches for yourself.
Yeah, that's true. But
think about how much cooler that would be, or just surprising if you had no idea.
Yeah, but if I didn't know Sting was in the building, because I probably wouldn't even know who Sting was. That was the thing. Like I the same places I read about that stuff is the same places where I figure out who Sting is, because I wasn't around back in the 1990s to watch wrestling.
So,
B+ from both of us.
Yeah, I think that's it.
A bad show. Not as good as Hell in a Cell in my opinion, but better than Night of Champions by a mile.
And not a bad podcast.
Daniel Bryan, I'm missing you so much.
Daniel Bryan, yeah, he's been out for a while.
Yeah, he's probably never wrestling again.
Why?
I don't know. So, Marshall, upcoming events?
Yes. No.
YouTube upcoming events. We have a Short Circuit miniseries coming up in December, but we'll probably be back on podcast before that happens. Hopefully.
Yep.
Any big events on your channel? Big events. This is exclusively for.
Oh, okay. Well, recently, I have entered the Twilight Zone.
Okay, no big events from YouTube then. Big events.
Wait, what? I was talking about YouTube.
December the 5th, there's a show.
God damn it, Puddy!
There's like a video game awards, and apparently Fallout 4 could be announced there. And finally, wrestling. I think it's December the 11th. Yeah, it is. It's December the 11th. NXT TakeOver 3, TakeOver Boogaloo, is the main event is Adrian Neville versus El Generico for the NXT Championship, and that is on the WWE Network for only $9.99. I also Finn Balor.
Can I talk about the Twilight Zone?
And also TLC the Sunday after that, I think. So Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt, which seems like it could be the main event, which would be cool. Alright. Peace. Stay classy, San Diego.
Why didn't you let me talk about the Twilight Zone?